Assalamu alaikum to all kids. We are here for our level 5 science subject, and this is our new Oxford Primary Science 3rd edition by Nicholas Herzberg. We are going to study today unit number 2. Unit number 2 has microorganisms, health and disease. First of all, I would like to explain you and recall you about microorganisms. What are microorganisms? You can see this word written over here. Microorganisms are small, very tiny bacteria in our body and mostly around us. We cannot see them. We need a very super zoomed microscope under the laboratories, and then we can be able to define their structure and what are they made up of and what are their names. Mostly microorganisms are all around us and in our body and in our food as well. And the next thing is health. What is health? Actually, when our body is working perfectly, we are growing perfectly, we are happy and healthy, our skin, our body, everything working functional is our health. And what is disease? Disease are actually those small microorganisms or bacteria which again we cannot see, but they attack our healthy bodies and make us sick. For example, we get coughing, we get flu, we get fever, pains, and all these all are results of disease, or the food we take contains some disease or bacteria. So, in recall, you can also see that food contain proteins. Proteins are and carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, and minerals needed by the body. Our body is not alone working with blood. It also needs all kind of food like fish, meat, grains, rice, juices, water, fruits, milk, and many more things which will keep us healthy. A balanced diet keeps us healthy. Good eating habits help the digestive system to work well. Obviously, what balanced diet is, we have learned before in diet or balanced diet pyramid. Okay, we have to categorize the level of food intake in our body according to its percentage. So that is called balanced diet, and eating good food will make our digestive system work well. Now all of us know what digestive system is. There is a complete function which helps our food from intake till it is digested in the stomach, and it contains lots of things: water, juices, sugar, salt, everything. So that is another case. Let us start our lesson. Okay, in this lesson what we are going to learn a balanced diet is necessary for good health. Already I have explained you. There are ways to preserve food to keep it free of germs. Okay, this is very important thing. Obviously we have learned it in many other lessons as well, that what are the ways to keep the food preserved. Mostly our parents, mothers, grandmothers have done this and we have seen it. We will talk about that. There are many ways to keep ways of keeping healthy. Obviously, we all know that mostly when we are sick, we go to doctor, they suggest us. Before getting sick, our mothers usually help us in maintaining our health, like drinking lots of water, having juices, a balanced diet, exercise, sleeping habits, not watching TV more than the hours which are safe for our eyes, for our mental health. Okay, the other thing is some disease are caused by microorganisms. As I explained you before, that disease are the ailments most of the times in our body, and it attacks our healthy germs and we get sick. Some microorganisms are useful to us. Yes, they are while making some food like yeast, like yogurt, cheese. These all are results of some bacteria and microorganisms which are actually healthy for our skin, body. Diseases are spread in a number of ways but can also be controlled. Okay, as I told, the disease comes from our food as well, our environment as well. So we can control it by cleaning our environment, by taking a good healthy amount of food, by not using expiry products. So this all can help us prevent getting disease and maintain a healthy body and healthy life. So these are two important things we knew about food and all, and this is what we are going to learn further. So in the next video I will start how microorganisms, health and disease are effective in our and are used where, in which part of our life. Thank you. Okay kids, this is the second part of unit number 2, microorganisms, health and disease. We are going to learn and explain this part of our lesson, which is on page number 11. Okay, so the first thing, let us read this paragraph, which I will explain you in between. All food contain substances which the body requires. Some foods are better than others because they have a higher food value. This means they contain more substances that the body can use. Let us first learn about this para. All food contains substances. What are substances? Obviously, the part of food which helps our body work well, which helps our different organs work well. So in this part of the lesson word, substances means the diet, the portion of diet which we are taking has divided into some categories. We will learn further. As you know that our body is made up of cells, tissues and organs. So each cell have its definite part of work, and that which grows into tissues, and tissues grows into our organs. More tissues become a big organ. So our heart, our lungs, our most of the body parts are actually organs. And obviously to maintain these organs we need a good amount of substances to take in our body. So some foods are better than others. Obviously food is food, but still it is categorized in being better, good, or sometimes not good for our health. You are not you should not always be ready to eat any kind of food which you don't know is healthy for your skin, for your body, for your health or no. So this is obviously we will learn about which food should be taken on specific age or time, because they have a higher food value. Okay, sometime if you are smaller in age, you cannot take more than your age because you are not able to digest that food. So that means the higher value of that food is not suitable for your body. This means they contain more substances than the body can use. A small example I will give you is about salt and sugar. The more salt you will use will harm you. The more sugar you will use will harm you. Obviously there are values in higher, you can say, nutrition value in sugar and salt, but still they should be taken in small amount. Did you know that food can also be bad for you? We will learn about it, why the food is bad for us. Eating too much of one kind of food can be bad for you. Okay, so very important part for kids, especially when you take a lot of sweets. Your teeth will destroy, your bones will get weaker if you take too much chocolates or sweets or candies. More sweet, more chocolate will affect your health, obviously. Eating too little of some food can also be bad for you. The big example for less food is that you are not taking good amount of water, or you're not taking amount of fruits. So obviously these things affect our body. The more you take sugar, the more you take salt will affect our body, our teeth, our bones, and less intake of water, juices and fruits will also affect our body in making us weak. So this was about knowing that what food does to our body and how much limit of food we should take and we should not take. Let us go to the concept check of this lesson, which gives us some unscrambled word. Let us go for this. You can see this word means it is protein, this is carbohydrate, and this is vitamins. Okay, so these foods contain protein. Seafood is very good for our health. There are so many proteins in fish, in shrimps, in any kind of fish, and their eggs are very good for proteins. You can use them alternate days. Meat is good, but excessive of meat is not good for health. You can better steam these both meat and eat. It's very good. So in carbohydrate, all the breads, grains, potatoes, kind of vegetables are giving us carbohydrates, which is very good for our body to grow. And these are vitamins, very good. Fruits, milk, and obviously fish somehow gives us vitamins as well. And green vegetables are also full of vitamins. You can take them raw or semi-cooked. They are very good for health. So what does these minerals do for us? Minerals and fiber, they help to keep you healthy. Obviously in water there is water is also mineral. It contains mineral. And bread and egg and rice, these gives fiber and little protein. They give you energy. So for maintaining energy, which kids have very more energy when they are playing games instead of study, and they build up making you fat. If you take more amount of these things, if you're skinny, you should take them. If you are okay, you're not very fat, you should always take a balanced amount of fats or proteins, you can say. So this was our second part of unit 2. So we will come with the third. So kids, let us go for one of the main topic of our unit, that is microorganisms. I have just given you a small idea about microorganisms, what actually they are. Microorganisms, although you can easily count large living things that you see, there are millions of living things around you that are very tiny. We call these tiny organisms microorganisms because we need a powerful microscope to see them. Already I have given an idea to you about microscope, powerful microscope, obviously that we can found in laboratory or science labs. And microorganisms, organisms means living things, and microorganisms are small living things. So obviously they are like germs and bacteria in our body. These days you can see the COVID-19 virus is also a kind of microorganism which we cannot see in our without laboratories, microscopes, and we cannot see it around. So this is one kind of disease as well. It's actually a virus, and virus means a thing, kind of organism which pass from one person to another. So microorganisms are found all over the world, in the air, in water, in soil, or on our body as well, on the surface of every object. Now, what is surface of every object? Obviously, we know it's in air. It's like a pollen, kind of small pollen grain which is in the plants, and it makes us sneeze sometime. In the water, if there is bacteria, fungus kind of things which pollute the water. In soil, the sand and all. Obviously when the plant taking process goes, we use the soil, and that bacteria and microorganisms help our plant to get nutrients. And in our body, So how we know it's in our body? For example, to check this, we take a book, a tissue paper, a paper, and we take a microscope, which is actually a lab microscope. You cannot see it from the one which you find in stationery shops. I will post a link, a kind of link which helps you to know and understand how microscopes help us to see the organisms, microorganisms. So we sneeze sometimes, so those kind of microorganisms pass from our mouth and nose and our water in the mouth to the surface wherever it goes and lands. Usually tissue papers are very good example of to see under the microscope that how these germs and how these bacteria and microorganisms look like. Actually, they have very funky shapes. Okay, the second thing is kinds of microscopes. Same like animals have different faces and shapes, human have different shapes and faces and body textures. So same like obviously microorganisms are living things. They also have different kinds of shapes and they have different kind of names as well. There are 4 main kinds of microorganisms. These are viruses, which I told you, which passes from one body to another, and bacteria, protozoa, and fungi. They affect the body in different ways. Now, very important thing is that these organisms or these germs or these small looking like creatures make us sick also. They cure our ailments also. Sometimes we take the medicines, they contain bacteria and kind of small units which go in our body and fight with the disease, like injections, like syrups and all. These all are helpful, and there are still harmful, which are like viruses, like coronaviruses and many other dangerous viruses around us. So let us learn about this part. Some living things are made up of only one cell and are called unicellular. Uni means one and cellular means cell. The functional cell, which is the first unit of our body, or single cell organisms. Organisms, again, a living thing which have only one part and there are no different organs in its body. Most of the unicellular organisms are microscopic, means you can see them under the microscope. See, now for example, this my mobile, the video I'm making is like a microscope, and you can see this picture. This is a kind of disease or organism or virus, whatever, you know. Coronavirus shape is also like this. So we will be able to see under microscope the virus, the bacteria, something like this. Okay, human beings, other animals and plants are made up of billions of cells and are called multicellular. So in our body, obviously, you can see there are so many cells. We are not made up of one cell. We have billions and millions and uncountable cells which make tissues and organs. Let's learn about viruses. You obviously, whenever you go, when you get sick, your mother says, oh, he got a virus. The doctor said there is virus in the air. Normally we know about the viruses in this way. Let us learn according to our lesson that what virus actually is. Smaller than bacteria. Viruses can grow and survive only when they are in the living cells of organism. So it means if you are alive, if a human body or if an animal body is alive, the bacteria and viruses will make their place, will multiply day by day, time to time. They will grow faster and faster. If the body is dead, they eat them. They convert the body of anything. It can be fruit, vegetable, whatever. They will eat, and then its task is over. They multiply rapidly in warm and moist places. If you keep any fruit, any vegetable under the sun, it will get rotten, it will die, it will not remain fresh, it will become blackish, change its shape, its color, and you will find small bacteria, sometimes worms as well. So these are all kind of organisms, virus, bacteria and all. They are harmful to animals and plants and can cause many disease. So the word virus is not only one thing. In virus there are so many disease. One disease is one virus, another disease is another virus. So disease are more than one. Obviously viruses are also more than one. Now in this picture you can see a poor baby. He's having some spots on his face. This means he has a chicken pox. Now this word seems very fishy. Well, we cannot see chicken something, but its name is chicken pox. There will be some history. I will try to find this link for you and post in the lesson plan, inshallah. So this boy is having a chicken pox, which you can see on his face and mostly on his body, and it affects inside the body as well. It makes you sick, nausea, having fever, and you are not able to eat well and all. Some illness caused by a virus in human are influenza. Influenza is a kind of flu. You have sneezing, coughing, and fever as well. It can go worse as well. Again, in worst cases there are so many other names. Chicken pox, cold, measles are same like chicken pox. Mumps and hepatitis. Hepatitis is also not very safe. Plant with a viral infection. Keep in your mind, I will let you know what is the name of this plant later, and you should not touch this plant, you should not pluck it, you should not intimate with this plant. Your skin can get reactions, or maybe there are so many harmful disease on this. Okay, so this was page number 12. We have understood and read it very well. Let us now go to our page number 13. Okay, page number 13 has a microorganism with the name of bacteria. Bacteria are unicellular organisms. They grow and multiply rapidly. Bacterial cells exist in 3 basic shapes. They can cause illness like typhoid, meningitis, and pneumonia. Okay, so bacteria are made of one cell. They grow rapidly means wherever they attack, whatever the amount of body is, it's food, it's your body, it's anything, they will multiply, they will grow faster. Either they will make it good or they will make it bad. Bacterial cells exist in 3 basic shapes, like they call illness of typhoid, it's a kind of fever. Meningitis, I will give you more information on this, and pneumonia is also a kind of worse fever and the ailment of a body. So not all bacteria are harmful. As I told you in earlier discussion that all bacteria are not bad. Some make yogurt. Some are helpful to make yogurt and cheese and so many other things which we use them intentionally to make them benefit for our health. 3 types of bacteria. The shapes are like this. Okay. The next thing is some of them are very useful for humans and other animals and plants as well. Okay, bacteria are helpful in plants to grow them or to give them some nutrients parts and all. Do you enjoy eating yogurt? Obviously, I love yogurt, cheese and butter. There are many flavors now. These days you can see yogurt has flavors. We are adding fruits taste in them and flavors. These are all prepared using bacteria. If you add a little amount of yogurt in the milk and cover it overnight and put it in the dark place, the next day that milk will turn into a yogurt. And if you hang that yogurt and take out its all water in the cloth and hang it in the dark place, later on it will process with the bacteria and become cheese. That is hung cheese. Okay, some bacteria live in our body and help in the digestion of your food. Whenever we are eating something, there is a lower amount of bacteria already present in our digestive system. As soon as we eat, the food started digesting, and the food nutrients, water, sugar, salt, carbohydrates, everything mix in our blood. They get separate and they help us to supply wherever they are needed. Okay, the other microorganism is fungi. Some fungi are unicellular and some are multicellular. Okay, you usually see fungi on many kind of bodies. on many things, like on the in the wet places, damp places, on the stones, in the near the sea places, on the surface of irons, and where most of the places you see fungi started growing, and obviously on fruits and vegetables as well. Okay, that is they can be microscopic and macroscopic. You can see from small and big microscopes. You need them you need these microscopes to see them. The fungi includes a vast variety of organisms such as mushrooms, yeast, and mold. Okay, the fungi includes a vast variety of organisms. Obviously, fungi has some categories we used to eat them. They are mushrooms. Not all mushrooms are healthy, but actually the family name of mushrooms are fungi, or whatever you can say the scientific name. The mushrooms are kind of fungi, and always they are not healthy. If they are growing on wet and damp areas, they are harmful, they are poisonous. But if they are grown in the farms in a good place, they are specially grown, they are healthy, which usually we eat in pastas and pizza. We can see they cannot make their own food and obtain their food from other organisms on which they grow. Obviously, if they are growing on soil, they get it from there. If they are growing in wet areas, they get their nutrition from water. So it depends on many circumstances. Now another thing is mold or stale bread. Keep your wet bread in a airtight jar, or you can say that special sandwich pack which is sealed from up Ziploc bag. If you keep a damp bread piece in that and leave overnight or 2 days, the second day or third day you will see a black spotting, greenish or blackish color mold on it. So that is mold. We say it's got rotten. It doesn't have smell always. Usually the wooden surfaces and usually the food which is left over for a long time and not healthy or fresh anymore will contain mold. Our potatoes, our onions, if they are left wet and sealed pack and they are not getting good amount of fresh air, they will be molded or stale. Stale means old, like expired. Okay, even you can see the lemon, it's rotting. If you will leave it for a long time, it will start getting whitish and blackish mold and rotting. Rotting means now it's expired. It doesn't have any nutrient value to eat it or consume it. Okay, some fungi like mushrooms are edible, but some are poisonous and should not be eaten. I have already explained you this. If they are grown, well grown in a good land and soil, well maintained, so they are healthy, which we get on pizzas and pastas. But mostly if you see them growing in your plants, home plants, small, tiny, and in your damp places like on woods, they are not healthy. Never touch or eat them. Some fungi obtain nutrients from dead animal and plants. These fungi are decomposers. Fungi decomposes biodegradable litter and makes soil fertile. This is very important part. I will explain it very nicely. Some fungi obtain nutrients. Obviously, a kind of a mushroom, we told that it has a nutrients value, like we can eat them, and some are not. They are poisonous, obviously. And dead animals. From dead animals, how we get from dead animals and plants? The small cockroaches, the small worms which die in the soil, mix up in the soil and help the plants grow. These fungi are decomposers. Decomposers are those bodies, organisms, or bacteria, whatever you can say them. They are living. Sometimes we can see, sometimes we cannot see them. They die and mix up in the soil and help the plants grow well. Fungi decomposes biodegradable litter and make soil fertile. For example, What is biodegradable? Means when they die, the organisms die and mix in the soil, they don't make trash, they don't become like a plastic. A plastic is not composing, it doesn't help the environment stay clean, it doesn't mixes with the soil. Whenever you will bury a plastic, will never mix with the soil, it will come out in the same shape very badly, and it's dangerous for animals, for sea pollution, for drains and everything. So mostly plastics are not biodegradable, they are not friendly, environment friendly, they are not able to help our soil to digest them, and doesn't help at all. So most of the fungi decomposes and mix with the soil and make and doesn't harm the environment, and they help another bodies or another organisms to grow, or the plants to grow. Okay, decomposers are organisms that break down a decaying, like dying, dead or decaying organ. Organ can be like organism, like bodies, like animals, like fish, like birds and everything, and is doing so, they carry out the natural process of decomposition. Allah has made a process why we all are buried in the graves, so our body doesn't remain harmful to others, otherwise it starts stinking. The dead bodies or dead organisms start getting small worms in it, and it's not safe to leave them unattended. That's why mostly Muslim are given a complete bag and buried inside the graves to keep the environment up safe, and our bodies are changed with time to time, mixes with the sand, and our bones are left behind, and bones are unharmful for any kind of environment. This process is called decomposition. Decaying means the rotten part of organism, or when they are dying, when they are leaving freshness, the color and shapes and body texture is changing. This is called decaying of any organism. Leave a fruit, leave a vegetable unattended for many days, you can observe how it is decaying. Leave a dead bird, dead fish as far as they are dead. If they are alive, they cannot decompose, they cannot decay, because they are alive. I will give you another example of decaying something of our body. For example, if we get a wound on our body, you can see somewhere over here we got hurt, we got blood coming out, and we don't take care of that place. That means this part of our body which is got hurt has broken cells, and the cells are not now working functionally. So this part will become worse and worse and worse if we keep it wet, if we don't use the medicines on it. Obviously, again, the medicines like pyodine spirit has some values of bacteria which help to heal our wound. So that means that part of the body will heal later. It will get back to life, but it will leave a scar. And other part of the body which is same on our hand doesn't have that effect. So same like that, because the area which was hurt got dead by cells. The cells stopped working on our body, and we need to regenerate our cells. That's why that place is at some certain of time is got rotten or is got decaying. In fact, our alive bodies doesn't get rotten like this. I am just giving you an example. Okay. The other part is fungi can also grow on human body, and also can cause skin infections like ringworm and athlete's foot. You need to keep your skin clean to avoid such disease. Yeast is a fungus used in making bread and some antibiotics. Okay, athlete foot means like, for example, you always wear socks and shoes, and you keep running and you have doing exercises. You are not giving healthy amount of air to your foot. That's why it's not breathing. The nails and skin is getting very damp. It's getting moist always, and you are not giving them healthy amount of fresh air and dryness. That's why it causes some skin infections. like ringworm. Okay, ringworm is a kind of infection which creates a ring on your body, certain places like on your hands, your neck, your cheeks, something, and you keep scratching it, it's like a ring on your body. And you can get it from some animals as well, like cats. If they have ringworms, the human can catch that ringworms as well. So these are kind of skin disease. Fungi are taking part on our skins as well. Sometimes you go in sea area, you catch a kind of itches on your body. That means the fungi has affected your body or attacked your body for certain time. Okay, even yeast is a fungus which makes us raise the bread. You used an amount of yeast in your flour, the kneaded flour, and then later on it changes into a yeast bread, and then you can bake it. Okay, let us now go for the next fungi organism, that is protozoa. Protozoa are unicellular organisms, means they are made up of one cell, rather like bacteria, because bacteria is multicellular. If they enter the body, they can live and grow, so means they will multiply. They grow in moist places, wet places, and are commonly found in water. Dysentery is caused by a protozoan, and so is diarrhea. So diarrhea is like whenever you are in swimming, mostly whenever you go in swimming areas, if you have taken more amount of time in the water and you feel that the water has entered your through your mouth in your body, or it's observed in your skin, mostly your stomach will get disturbed and the bacteria will affect your digestive system and you will get motions and diarrhea. Diarrhea is a kind of loose motion where your water just passes from your body and doesn't allow your food to remain in your body. So you can see how it looks like under microscope. It looks like this. It's a kind of foot shape. Okay, microorganisms and disease. Now let us learn. Obviously this lesson is making me a little bit sick. Like disease, we are talking about ailments and disease. There are many diseases which make us ill. Okay, ill. Most of the kids get very fast sick because of their habits. Some diseases are caused when the body does not get the correct supply of minerals and vitamins that it needs. Obviously, we are not taking water, we are not taking fruits, we are not taking proper vegetables. The amount of healthy food which nowadays kids are not taking, that's why they are getting sick. Ill and sick are the same words mostly. These are called deficiency. Deficiency means the lackness of something in your body. Obviously, if you will not take healthy amount or appropriate amount of any kind of mineral supply or vitamin supply of your body, you will start getting low of that. If you will not take sugar, you will get low into sugary the portion of sugar in your body. If you are not taking water, you will be dehydrated. So these all are called deficiencies which will harm your growth. Obviously, some diseases are caused because a part of the body stops working properly. This is a little bit critical part. For example, our brain is not working properly because there is no healthy amount of blood supply to our brain. Such disease affect the liver, heart, kidneys, or other organs of the body. Okay, liver, the blood is not clear. Heart, the blood is not clean, it's not working functional. Kidneys, there is no water supply proper, or other organs like brains or eyes or ears and all. These and the deficiency disease are not spread from one person to another. If you are having a kind of heart issue, liver issue, it's not going that your other family members will get it from you, but you will be suffering from the pain or whatever the diagnosis you have that moment. They are non-communicable disease, means they will not pass from one person to another. Deficiency disease can be prevented by eating these foods. So this is the chart of vitamins. Vitamin A is found in fish, eggs, and carrot. Vitamin B is found in cereals, red meat, eggs, and again breads and all. Vitamin C is in yellow and orange citrus fruits, papaya, lemon, oranges. Vitamin D, you should have a good amount of exposure to the sun. Drink lots of water, have a little bit cheese, have eggs with you. Sorry, this was vitamin D. You should have a little bit exposure with the sun, amount of water, cheese and eggs. Vitamin E, nuts, grains and all. And vitamin K comes from green leafy vegetables. So this was to know about microorganisms which creates disease and help you prevent from disease. So let's go for this was page number 14 which we have completed, and let us go for page number 15. Page number 14 we were learning about communicable or communicable means from one place to another place. Communication, same like communication, like if somebody has said something, so other person is able to understand it. So the bodies also communicate, like this part of the body has a disease and this part doesn't have. So when I will communicate my bodies, they will get affected, the other one will get affected. But in this case it's not like this. Deficiencies are not infectious. Infectious means from one body, one skin to another skin, it will not infect. Disease is spread from person to person. Okay, they are caused by microorganisms entering the body. Now in the previous part we said that most of the viruses are not spread, not infectious, but on the other hand there are so many which are infectious, they pass from one body to another body, because the organisms live on our skin, in our breath and all, and we are able to pass them to another. So we should be taking care of them. For example, these days coronavirus is one of them which affects our body, which goes from one contact to another contact. Contacts means one person is meeting another, greeting another, so the other person is got affected from active coronavirus patient. How microorganisms enter the body, this is very important things. This means you should be taking precautions as well. See, you can see through air. This is very important thing. You should always keep hand on your nose and mouth while sneezing and coughing. It will, and soon go and wash your hands very well thoroughly at least 3 times, and this will help to go the germs away. Microorganisms can enter the body through nose and mouth. So same like entering is opposite, same like throwing also, from nose and mouth. When you are taking breathe in, it is going inside, and when you are sneezing and coughing, it's coming outside. When you breathe, eat or drink. Disease is often spread through coughing, spitting or sneezing. These 3 are also called you can say they pass the disease and infections from one person to another person, in one environment to another environment. And this also comes in manners. We should always have manners while coughing, spitting and sneezing. We should avoid crowds and take a separate place, a corner, and sneeze, cough or spit, or use sanitizers and tissues with you. The common cold and measles are examples. Obviously cold means like fever, you feel cold, your body gets chills, and that means you are got infected. And measles on your skin, same like chicken pox and small spots. These diseases are passed from the infected person through the air by a cough or sneeze. When a child in a family catch measles, it's good to keep him safe alone in a separate room and place and take care of him, instead of sending him and letting him play with another students, because this will pass to another one. Some disease are spread through direct contact. They enter the body through cuts and skin. That's the same thing I have explained you about the rotten body. When you get a wound, and if it's not cured on time, you may get infected by another disease which is around in your air or in the place or environment where you are staying. Insects too pass So whenever you got a cut, use a good amount of iodine and put plaster on it, something which will not let the outer bacteria or viruses, whatever disease, so to catch your body or enter inside your body. So keep it damp free, don't let it get wet or airy. So insects too pass on disease to humans. Insects pass harmful germs by biting humans and feeding on their blood. Mosquitoes mostly, there are small amounts to big amounts of bites. Snake bites is the most venomous and dangerous. So if we get bitten or stung by snakes, mostly people die if the snake is poisonous. And mosquitoes are less poisonous because they are very small and they sit on our body. They pour their teeth, a sharp knife like teeth inside whatever it has, it's a nozzle or whatever it is called. It's like a sting. You feel a sting on your body. It takes blood, a small amount of blood, which usually we don't see, but it makes it swallows it's swollen our hand or fingers or wherever the mosquito bites, the bee bites. So these all are kind of infections which get on our body because the bites or the venom or the disease or the virus, whatever it leaves, goes in our body through blood. The bite of a female mosquito can cause malaria. Another thing is that malaria is a kind of very bad fever, and also there are so many other sickness in health deficiencies what happens in malaria. Yellow fever, plague, typhus and sleeping sickness are also caused by the bite of insects such as mosquitoes, fleas, bugs and sand flies. Whenever you are going to sea beaches, please use some kind of precautions. Use some a good amount of Vaselines or something in your body, so there should be no direct contact of fleas, the small kind of bugs which usually infect animals' body. Like there are so many worms. If you go to forest, you will see the bugs coming and sitting and start feeding and taking blood from your leeches. All these are kind of harmful germs also, and worms also. Infections can be caused by different types of worms. For example, the hookworm larva can burrow through human skin. Somehow they are also used, such kind of worms are also used to cure also. In many part of the world, they intentionally stick to the body, so the blood has comes out, the infection blood comes out and the body is cured. So there are different benefits and losses of these kind of worms. Once it is under the skin, it can get into the bloodstream. Yeah, it's not safe. Some of them are not safe. It is then carried to other parts of body in the blood. If they are big, like botfly, they go and dig a small hole in your body and stay and grow and become big, large, and it gives you lots of pain and many discomfort. So it's very important to take them out from. You should obviously directly go to the doctor. Some disease can also be passed through infected food and water, and obviously blood also. If your blood is not, before taking or donating blood, you should check your blood. Before drinking water and food, you should check whether it is not expired, the water is clean and it comes from a clean source, it's not kept open for a long time. There are no we cannot see the germs mostly, but still we should be careful while drinking water. When food is left in an open for some time, germs such as bacteria and fungi can fall on it. The germs begin to breed into the food. Mostly flies and mosquitoes come and sit on your food. If it is unattended for some time, it's open in the air, that flies carries many bacteria and fungus which will harm our health. Cholera and typhoid are spread through infected food and water. So always keep your food and water clean. Use the good mediums, healthy mediums to intake for the intake of food. Okay, the next, this was Page number 15, and now we are on our last page. Food poisoning is caused by bacteria from food that are not stored properly and prepared well. Okay, sometimes the uncooked or less cooked food also give us sickness. For example, if the food is the meat is not cooked properly, it's still raw, we are not supposed to eat it. It will infect our stomach. The food which is left unattended and not stored in cool and dry place is also not healthy for our stomach, and we get food poison. The germs which has attacked that food will go in our body and start multiplying, and we will get sick, or we will get kind of vomits and all. Germs in food. Germs need certain conditions to breed. Breed means grow and multiply. They cannot breed in food if it is kept very dry or frozen. Same as our chicken, mutton, our fruits, vegetables are stored in fridge. As far as they are healthy, they are fresh, we can take them. If we will leave them outside, they are not healthy anymore. If food has been sterilized, it can be kept free from germs. Okay, now sterilized has many good and bad effects. They spray our food, they pass them from some liquid, some solutions which keep them fresh, and the surface of the fruit or vegetable doesn't get affected by the air or the outer environment. So this is when we export our food items from one country to another through containers, through any medium, so they can be fresh for few days before use. It can be free from germs obviously, but so it's better such kind of vegetables and fruits we should wash thoroughly and eat them or use them. Eating fresh vegetables that have not been washed may also lead to illness. So fresh fruit doesn't mean you direct pluck it and start eating it. Clean it, wash it and eat it. It's good. So you can see vegetables may have been sprayed. The shiny kind of vegetables and fruits means they have been sprayed or gone through a solution to keep them fresh for long time. Eating unwashed, spoiled food or uncovered food is also one of the main ways germs get into your body. Processed foods are kept safe as they are sealed in plastics or in tins. Air is kept away from the foods. So preservation, like dry fruits, like pickles, like jams, these are all preserved kind of foods which are made from one item. They are changed into some other items and preserved and shown us for our interest and our taste. Ketchups and pickles and drinks and milk, these all are processed foods. Some foods can be kept from going bad by the use of chemicals. I would suggest these are harmful. When certain chemicals are added to food, germs cannot be breed in it. Food that have been packed in a factory usually have chemical preservations added to them. Milk can be preserved for a while by process called pasteurization. To pasture milk, it is first heated to 60 degrees and then cooled quickly. Most of the germs are killed off this process. It's good, but it should be consumed as fast as we can. As fast as we open the can of or the packet of the Tetra pack of the milk, we should consume it at the same day. It's better. So the chemical preservation such as soft drinks, you can see it's not healthy. The one which contains what is the word that the carbonated drinks are not good because they are added with some chemicals which are not good for our digestive system. So I have completed the unit number 2 with you. In next session we will do the concepts checking and we will do the question answers and fill in the blanks and everything. Inshallah, we'll come back to you. Thank you.